Journal of Popular Culture, or JPC, is a peer-reviewed journal that publishes articles on how popular culture can provide a compelling insight into the workings of our social world. The JPC has written on travel tourism, race, gender, sexual orientation, racism, Judaism, gun control, gangsters, superhero ethics, the pandemic, fan fictions, Korean pop culture, Star Wars, nostalgia, etc. For example, there is an article written on why Sherlock Holmes is always portrayed as white, British, and male, and the reactions people had to adaptations of Sherlock Holmes being portrayed as black. There is also an article written on the fad of creating vampire adaptations of classical romantic novels written by Jane Austen and those of her caliber. The editor of the JPC is Anne Larrabee, and she is a professor of English and American Studies at Michigan State University. She holds a PhD in English from State University of New York at Binghamton, and she is, according to her LinkedIn, an author of several books, including The Wrong Hands, Popular Weapons Manuals and Their Historic Challenges to a Democratic Society, Decade of Disaster, and The Dynamite Fiend. According to her profile on Michigan State University, Anne Larrabee is well known for her work on the dramas of Dunja Barnes and Susan Glaspell. Her dissertation was on women's theater and drama in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. She is interested in technology, culture, and media. Right now, she is currently working on a historical study of bomb making among radical groups, which explores issues of technology transfer, restraints on speech, and institutional boundaries due to dangerous knowledge. She is also the co-editor of the Journal for the Study of Radicalism, and she is considered an expert on the history of terrorism. She also publishes in the field of media studies, and she is especially interested in global mediascape. She has overseen various dissertations, some of which have focused on women and technological invention, cultural studies and radicalism, media and violence, and global media forms. She teaches modern and contemporary literature, drama, literary survey, and introductory humanities. To submit an article to the JPC, it must be well written and be a contribution to the field of popular culture studies. The essay must be written in U.S. English with an active narrative voice, and the format of the essay must be in MLA. The essay must be double-spaced, written in a 12-point Times New Roman font, and the word count must fall between 5,000 to 7,500. The essay must be submitted as a Microsoft Word document. The JPC has a blind review process, so there can be no identifying information on the essay. Authors who are accepted should note that they must subscribe to the Journal of Popular Culture for at least 1 year upon acceptance, and that subscription also includes a membership to the Popular Culture Association. Making a Killing, Norman Bates, Dexter & Co. as Neoliberal Entrepreneurs of the Self. The article analyzes Dexter Morgan from Dexter, Norman Bates from Psycho, and Hannibal Lecter and Jamie Gumb from The Silence of the Lambs. Dexter Morgan's serial killer vigilante side work is a nod to capitalist individualism and the conservative aversion toward the state justice system. Norman Bates has dissociative disorder. His disorder makes him have two different identities, Norman and his mother. This is a nod to the relationship between an everyday worker, Norman, who has no control over anything, and the neoliberal boss, his mother, who has complete control. Humans say they love us, normalizing the beneficence of ownership and condoning confinement in the secret life of pets. The movie portrays humorous scenarios with talking animals who have the same values and beliefs as humans. The article analyzes the movie through the lens that the roles of animals are viewed as a commodity for human entertainment, satisfaction, and humor. The movie enforces the concept of ownership, owning a home, owning a toy, or owning a pet. If the animal does something the human does not like, or if the animal runs away from home, then the animal will end up on the street. This enforces the concept of animals being purely a commodity for human satisfaction and not living beings. The Sidekick, Batman, Robin, and the Erasure of Black Adolescence, discusses how society perceives black men through the pop culture reference of Batman and Robin. In Scott Snyder's Batman Endgame, there is a character named Duke Thomas who is a black teenager in the rougher part of Gotham. He is viewed as a mature, dangerous threat and an immature, unknowing child. The concept of black males not being perceived as adolescent when they should be is a common societal issue. They go from being children to adults without the intrinsic period of growth that is adolescence, which is filled with risk-taking and experimentation. White teenagers are protected and guided through this stage, while black teenagers are viewed as mature and dangerous, and in the case of females, sexually available. Black adults are viewed as childish and dependent. The unfair societal perception leads to disproportionate levels of policing and school expulsions. Duke Thomas's character is the perfect pop culture example of these skewed perceptions. He and various other teenagers take the self-appointed mantle of the Robins to protect their part of Gotham. The Gotham PD views the Robins, minority characters, as criminals, not accepted vigilantes like Batman and Robin, white characters. Despite sharing many traits as other Robins, Batman never makes him official, sidelining him to the position of the Signal.